We're back here again. The diesel is fixed. We've got a new spring. We looked outside. That was a fairly fresh spring. Didn't need doing because usually you'd do the pair, wouldn't you? And I've had a new shock absorber this end. Woohoo! Lovely. Look, there we are. Look. Let's have a look in there. And look, we've had a new shock absorber. Yeah, new shock absorber. And a new spring on this side. Amazing. Lovely. Woohoo! Fantastic. I thought it just banged and clunked because it was an old knacker. I thought, oh, this is where they drive and I shouldn't overload it. And the last full load I put in it, I thought, okay, still rolling. I go nice and steady. What's the problem? Anyway, sweet now, really sweet. Let's give you an update on the mechanical woes. So 120 for the crank sensor, spring, went in for the spring, needed the shock doing the same time. Look, it's standing a lot better now, isn't it? That was 180. So, and it's, do you know what? We've had it nearly a year. The next thing will be the MOT in the next couple of months. So, not bad, all for a year's motoring. So hopefully that's the end of the. Oh, it was 50 quid to recover it, wasn't it? Yeah, to get it up to the garage. So, which was our fault. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, if what, but all that malarkey. Anyway, we got it recovered, didn't we? So that's that out of the way. Let me give you an update. So that's hopefully out of the way to the next MOT, and we'll have another year out of it. So let me give you an update on the wing. Well, the update on the wing. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, done it, if what, but anyway, we should have read the book in the first place and put the guns on. Anyway, new bolts, did the sensor, got the gasket, take it off, new gasket, second gasket, and new bolts. That's done and out the way. However, somewhere, somehow, I don't know if it's changed or what, but anyway, somewhere, somehow, we hope it's under there somewhere, but when you put the indicators on, oh, they're working. Oh, they weren't working. Now they are working. Ah! Oh, that's good news. The indicators are working. And the headlight wasn't working. Let's see if the headlight's working now. Blimey. Something must have settled. What have I got to put off? Put that off. Turn this down. Yeah. The indicators are working. Oh, so there must be a little loose connection somewhere. This is was booked in for Thursday because they just barely flashed, and there was a whole load of wires under there. But we have been up and down the road a few times, so maybe it's settled again. Oh, that's good news. Well, good news for the bank balance anyway. So, what to do? Well, this is booked in for Thursday. Well, booked in for Friday. So maybe something settled, maybe something banged, or I guess, as always with these things, at the age they are, there's something somewhere. Let me ring Rick. So, some of the complications, shall we say, or ideas for an improvement. Look, it's splitting the wood. In this particular case, these nails seem to be towards the top of the boards, and if you don't get fully in, and go fully in there, that's a full lift. But sometimes when this nail is in the way, you don't really get fully in, so it forces you out like that. Look, you end up being too far away, and the lift of the pallet, you're lifting the pallet here, where it's nailed here, it's just going to split the piece of wood in half. So we need to try and improve that somehow. So I wonder, is it worth, hold on, worth reducing this, taking this away. Say putting a little edge here. What if we cut this away here and there, cut that bit away? Would that help it get under the wood easier and better? Just for this application, do you know what I mean? It's doing okay. But as always, everything needs improving. See those two little nails now? It doesn't allow me to get really in and under. You're trapped between two nails now. You're not really reaching all the way in. It's doing it. But would that be a better way? Okay, in a perfect world, they wouldn't be in the way. And you do that. Pop them. I wonder if it's worth doing that. Because it's always great when you make something, you're always prepared to change it or move it or alter it. It doesn't seem to be marking this wood, but it does leave its mark there. Well, if we cut that off, say, we could cut that off, and even if we decided we wanted it back, we could weld a bolt in there that size, couldn't we? And that would give it a rounder edge. It would do less damage to the wood itself, possibly. Shall we bother? Shall we not bother? There's always when you make something, you want it to be perfect, don't you? Because it's your invention. It doesn't have to be. It's just nice to be able to alter and move it and think, right, this is the correct solution. I wonder. See, when there's no nails there, because you pulled them out from the previous blank, sits in there lovely, and you get a full pressure of lift, because it's going in that far, isn't it? Not far enough to catch the edge of this and rip that off, just enough. We kept them short, didn't we? Good thing about this one is the downfall with this, when you get to just one on the end and it's awkward. I've got nothing to work against, nothing to push against, nothing to do that. But if it had a little sticky out bolt, as this has got, hold on, this one's got a little sticky out bolt, so you find yourself in that situation. This goes underneath, and the sticky out bolt enables you to strip it, gets underneath it. So maybe we should give that a little sticky out bolt there, and that would make it a little bit more perfect tool for every situation. Yeah, I do like the idea of the sticky out bolt, especially if you're in the middle is okay. Of course, we've made this tool to strip these pallets we've got here today, or bits of wood. Each bit of wood that comes along is slightly different to the piece of wood before. It's going to be interesting stripping that out, how that's going to work. What do we strip first? What do we... This one is well nailed in, isn't it? I think we'll be all right, but I think there'll be more damage trying to get this lot apart. Let's persevere. We're working our way down through the pile. So this one is ideal for this job. Stripping them off of one end. Let's see, look under there. Using that. Ideal, isn't it? Yeah, so we definitely need a set of ears on these, I think. Yeah. I was thinking of just cutting this end off, but I think we're going to approach this a slightly different way with another different bit of kit. We're going to pull this off there, I think. That's what we're going to do. We'll pull these that way. And the worst it's going to do is crack up an end, isn't it? Yeah. I think thumping them. Oh, thumping them. Oh, thumping them might work. At the worst, we'll lose the end, won't we? There's a bit of give in it, in this, that in the middle of the, it's bending more than breaking, which is the old-fashioned wrecking bar way of doing things. Yeah, we're going to lose a few ends on this, but it's a good length of wood we'll be getting off, so even if we have to cut these off afterwards when we get into sorting them out, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, let's just try that other bar on this. See, you need different bits of kit to do different situations. They're all wrecking bars, they're all pallet pulling bars. Let's see, I mean, standing on them's working okay. This, oh, this is doing a good job of this. Them ears are coming into play now, aren't they? Wow, yeah. Those little ears are coming into their own now. Yeah, because it's coming closer to this. This is going to get more difficult to do as we go along, because we're pulling that. If I stand on there, that will help it escape. Oh, come on. Oh, I think, yeah. Let's strip this end off. I think we're going to be all right, you know. Yeah. This one is being a bit of a meh. But that's part of the fun and the challenge of making something out of what was potentially nothing. You know, this would have been thrown away in the bin, would have been burnt, would have been whatever. We're giving it an extra life, aren't we? So it's worth just being a little bit more patient and just extracting the wood a bit more gentle. And you know, every good bit of wood you get out of it, it's a winner chicken dinner, isn't it? So I definitely think there is a place for this little piece sticking out, like in this situation where you're taking the edge, look. So yeah, I think we'll definitely put the earpiece on it, I think. Levering them apart is a much more effective way than trying to hammer them apart, and you know, hammering away like some demented pallet stripping bear. I've tried that way, that don't work. Just leaving them apart. Leverage is an amazing thing, isn't it? Well, I don't know who made these packing cases, but they were really good at their job, because there's no way do these want to come apart. Oh, hold on. Well, whoever made these packing cases didn't want them to come apart. Didn't want them to come apart. The packing cases were going to stand up to any abuse you wanted to give them. It's not giving up its treasures very easily, but the treasure we are getting out of them is gorgeous. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's all I can say. at least we are harvesting some quite good planks out of them. So there is gold in them there pallets, but it's not giving them up easily. I wonder that was a right little stinker to do, because look, the nails weren't not only straight in, but they were at an angle. So they were all coming in at all sorts of angles, and that's why they didn't want to come out. That last piece of wood has been a complete nightmare. But anyway, we're getting down this pile bit by bit. So we had some from there. This is what we've had today. This is what we've created today. We'll put it away, and we're going to be able to afford to only pick the very best, aren't we? Anything with any blemish, anything other than perfect, we can throw away or put to one side. So the sorting process and denailing will come, and we've got plenty. We don't have to put up with anything that's not absolutely spot on. We might put it to one side. Just look at that. We want absolutely, broken under there slightly. We want just perfect ones, don't we? Yeah, we can choose the perfect ones, and we'll still have lots, and then we can sort through the not quite so perfect ones. Anyway, these last ones, they were a job to get out. They didn't want to come out, but they did, and what we got out of there was really quite nice. So this was yesterday's harvest, yesterday's pile. Let's add to that today. Whenever you'd take on a big job like this, well, you know, every bit you do is another bit closer, isn't it? The pile's going down slowly. So it looks a lot, and it is a lot. We're going to stack them up here, aren't we? Okay, we'll have to move them, and we'll have to rearrange that there, but we're going to stack them on the shelves up here up to the roof. You'll be surprised, you know. They'll soon stack away nicely and level, and we'll only keep the very, very best stuff. Yeah, and then we'll regrade the second, shall we say. So, yeah, it's a bit of work to do, but, you know, we're getting there. And, of course, now, even if it rains, we're in the dry now, aren't we? So, and it keeps the wood dry, because this wood has been dry from the country it came from. Then it's been in the containers for quite some time. There was a bit of a delay on the stuff. This hasn't seen any damp or wet weather at all. So it's done all of its shrinking. So as long as we keep it dry, it's going to be marvellous stuff. Because, you know, you tend to use this sort of stuff. You put it in, you've picked it up, it's dry to touch, but it's still got water in it. And then it shrinks and it knackers your plan up, doesn't it? But this is already shrank. This is dry. This has been dry for months, this wood. Inside a container, and been tipped in the summer like this. The weather hasn't hit it. So, it's really good stuff. Or it will be when I've denailed it all. We've only created that much sweeping, so we're doing very well. I'm really pleased the way things are going. Really pleased.